there, this is Linda and welcome back to my channel. Today let's take a look at how the year is started in my 2024 Common Planner and how January went. Okay, so in this video I want to show you how January went in my Common Planner. Just a little bit of background information. You can see more about what my plans were for this in my total lineup for the year. And I have a separate video for that, which I will link up at the eye for you guys. But this is my B6 Common Planner from Sterling Ink. And I am using this year as a functional planner. So it is going to be a little bit decorative and pretty just because that is something that helps me be more functional and really use my planner. But it is not my journal. I am keeping a Hobonichi Cousin. For that purpose, I have a daily Hobonichi Cousin, which is right here. And this is what I'm using as my primary memory keeping journaling book. This one is purely functional, and I really, really love separating these two things out this year. So starting in this journal, I have a clear cover on it that's from Sterling Ink. It is the one that was made specifically for this planner. I decided not to put anything in here because it might be hard to see, especially with the clear cover on, but this cover is like textured pink. It's very pretty and like had a very good texture on it, but I wanted to cover it to protect it. It just didn't feel like that sturdy. So I thought that the cover was necessary. If I hadn't purchased it, I probably would be fine without using it, but I did buy it, so I'm going to use it for now at least. On the inside, I tucked this in here. This was a mailer from Abby C from her Patreon, and it's just a calendar of the year, so I just tucked that in there as a quick reference, although I think there is one in here anyways. I added this print in here that's from Brandy Kincaid. And then I just put my name and my Instagram handle on here. This is the year at a glance overview. And all I did on here was I used my Zig dot marker. And all of my favorite supplies are linked down below or from my Amazon storefront, which is linked below. So you can find information on all the products I use there. But I just dot markered all of my paydays at work. Just because I wanted something for this page, and I get paid every 2 weeks, so it was nice to be able to see what months hit with the 3 paychecks, because that's always nice to have. Then I did a vision board, and I have a whole video talking about my process for this vision board, which was made using images from Pinterest in Photoshop. And I have a second vision board that I did in my Hobonichi Cousin using magazine clippings, and I will link that one for you guys at the eye as well, if you want to check that out. And then I went into the goal breakdown. So this is a goal breakdown that was in the Sterling Ink Common Planner. It's pre-printed on the page. It says it has space for you to put 6 categories over here. And then it has someday, 1 year, half year, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily. So I initially thought that this would be a really fun way for me to break down my goals. After I started doing it though, I feel like this format didn't work well for me. This was more of like an intentions layout where I was just kind of brainstorming how I felt about my goals, but not actually setting tangible goals that I could check off. And so this didn't really work very well for me, but I'm happy that I did it. I came up with 6 categories. Home, because I do really want to put a lot of effort into my home this year and really making it decorated and me. For those of you who are new here, I built my home in 2020. Started in 2019. I finalized it and moved in at the height of the pandemic in May of 2020, and I just kind of left it. I didn't spend a lot of money or a lot of time decorating it. It was a brand new home, but most of the rooms weren't painted. I did get like some initial furniture, but I just didn't for a variety of reasons, the pandemic, and then I went through a divorce. So I was just not really finding my way in it. And this year I really want to. I have already done a lot towards that goal. I have purchased some furniture. I have redone a lot in my living room, but I still have a lot to do. So that's my first main goal this year. Then I also broke down health into physical and mental health, which are always big priorities for me in my life. So I talked about the different things that I want to do and prioritize in my physical and mental health. Lifestyle I use just to kind of contain all those other things. So it's really kind of two things, my hobbies and my relationships, which are both very important to me. So I just kind of put some things that I wanted to do for both of those, like my reading goals, some financial goals, some relationship goals, those types of things, and kind of wrote that out. Then I have Linda Loves Creating, which is this YouTube channel in my Instagram account. And so I just kind of put what I wanted to do for that and kind of what my schedule I want to have. And then the last one is adventure. So my one little word in 2023 was fun. And part of that one little word was to go on more adventures and, get out, do more, travel more. And I did, but in 2024, I have even more travel planned. And I still want to continue that goal, even though my one little word this year is ease, which is really kind of focused on all of these. I'm keeping that adventure goal because I do like that balance in my life. And actually, when you guys are seeing this video, I am on my first adventure of 2024 right now in St. Lucia. So I am super excited about that. And I'm super excited about way more travel that I have coming up this year. So stay tuned because I plan to share a lot more of that here. But I think this is kind of where I could see where this format didn't work, because this goal is to go on some big adventures this year. But for the daily, I was like, this is not a daily goal. And I tried to come up with what would I do weekly? And I put plan and prep when not on an adventure, share my travels for accountability, but that's not something I'm going to do every week. So it didn't make a ton of sense for me. Then you move into these quarterly pages, and there's one for each quarter. But I'm just going to show you the first quarter. So it has this priority section and then monthly sections. So the monthly sections I'm using to list out all of my cleaning goals and other tasks that I need to get done some point in that month. Then I put in the number in of the date when I actually complete it. So I didn't do all of my cleaning goals this month in January, but I did most of them. And I'm going to rewrite all of them in February and get February set up. And up here were some of my larger goals that I want to do during the entire quarter. So I have my laundry room redo and living room progress were things that were very big, like home goals. I want to get my planners and journals fully set up for the new year in the first quarter. That is something where sometimes I tend to linger on finishing out all of those collections and things that need to be migrated from the previous year planner. And I want to make sure that those are done by the end of the first quarter at the latest, but I am also easing into the new year. I also need to update my filing system. And then I'm tracking here. I'm using these as trackers, and I do have trackers in some of my other planners and journals as well. So these ones are purely functional. So did I do my planning? Did I plan for the day, make a to-do list, all that? And you can see I'm not doing that every day. That is not something I want to do every day, but I want to track when I did and did not do it. If I got 10,000 steps, if I did something exercise-wise that was not just walking. I do a ton of walking, but I wanted to just track on here if I did something other than that. So that would be Pilates, I play a lot of pickleball, I go for hikes, I do some yoga, so those types of things. Pick up, so this is whether or not I picked up my house. So I like to take 10 minutes out of my day and just walk around the house and put everything away. That's, all those random things that end up everywhere. And so I'm trying to do that more regularly. That has been on my list to track for a while now, and I'm still struggling with it, but I'm getting better. Cleaning the kitchen every night, that's one that I'm fairly good at. Drinking enough water, that's one I'm not the best at, but I'm trying. And then these last two are health trackers. So I had kind of toyed around with the idea of keeping a separate health journal. I struggle with a lot of health things, and my health is very important to me. It's something I want to prioritize, but I ended up just putting it in here. So the first one is whether or not I slept well, and I do suffer from insomnia sometimes, so I put an I when I had insomnia. And then I also suffer from really bad headaches and migraines, so I put H's for the days I had headaches. and on the feel good. And then I put a dot if I felt really well that day. Moving into the monthly. So this book has this follows very much like the Hobonichi Cousin format. Some of these pages up here are different. Like there are these trackers in the Hobonichi Cousin, but there's not this piece, so it's a little bit different. But the monthlies and the weeklies look pretty much the same as the Hobonichi Cousin. So I'm using the monthly kind of like how I did last year in my Hobonichi Cousin, which is a functional calendar to pre-plan. And I have some colors for like days I didn't work, my daughter being home, traveling, that type of thing. And then I have over here my same task list that I did in 2023 in my Hobonichi Cousin. If you want to see a full walkthrough of my Hobonichi Cousin from 2023, I have a bunch of those videos. I have walkthroughs of every single month on a playlist, but then I also have a flip through of the entire planner. And so I will link that one for you guys at the eye. So what I have over here are my January tasks. So those are the things that I want to do, which actually I forgot to mention that down here. These are deep cleaning tasks that I want to do in that specific month. And so then I have them up here for the month. And then I have my monthly tasks, which are the same ones as here. And then my task list of like things to do that are just like other things that need to get done that aren't really cleaning or chores, but just other things that I need to work on. Some people have asked, like, why do I want to write this here and track it in multiple places? I track it in a few more places as well. And each one serves its own purpose to me. And I get that like boost of dopamine when I check something off. So being able to check it off in like 5 spreads really is nice for me. So I don't mind having it in multiple places, but I could see how some people might not want to repeat it and just put it on one or the other. Then moving into the weeklies. So the weeklies here, I struggled. Looks horrible. I didn't know what to do with them. I wanted them to be functional weeklies because in my cousin, I use them for memory keeping. And so I tried just doing like pen and just doing it quick, and I hated it. I didn't use it because it wasn't cute. So even though I need these to be functional, I also need to make them pretty enough that I am drawn to actually look at them. And then this week I had a lot of change plans, so I just wrote that because I was crossing stuff off. And I realized I don't want to cross things off. I want to just white them out and actually like put things in here nice. And I never even wrote out my chores. So I write out the chores for the week here, which are some of the ones from the monthly, but not everything. So these would be the ones that I want to get done this week. Some of them are on here. Some of them are chores that I do every week, like laundry, take out the trash, clean some cat chores and stuff. They end up on here every week because they're not on here. These are ones I only want to do once per month. And then I also have tasks. So these are the types of things that you would find on this to-do list that I want to do this specific week. And some of these are not on my monthly to-do list because they are things that just came up or they're things that just happened during this week. So I ended up finding a way to do this a little bit prettier. I added some washi tape, and then I just added some highlight to make it just a little bit prettier, even though it was just functional. So there's a lot of gaps when I didn't have things scheduled. A lot of these days, like I'm at work most of the day, so I don't really have other things to write in. I had some meetings. I had some plans on the weekend. I am very much a homebody, so I don't have a ton of plans. I like to just stay home. So a lot of times my weekends don't have anything. Summer has moved out and is in college, but during these first weeks of January, she was at home. So I was putting her schedule here because it was impacting me. But now that she's back at school, I am not putting that in here. I did put her first day of school. I added in a few things here. Some of them are not pretty because I just was kind of doing it quickly. And my task list here, but I felt like this one was too empty because I never have things scheduled in the evening now that Summer's not here. So I was like, this doesn't seem like the best use of the page. So then I came up with this spread, and I think that this is what I'm going to use going forward. So I have my chores and my tasks the same on the side. I have my work schedule. I have meetings in the hourlies. And then I put all the way across here at 7, which is not when I eat before then, but just because I'm usually not going to have anything scheduled that late, I put my dinners. And then I have space to write in what I actually had or what I'm kind of planning. And then here's my meal plan. So these are all the things I've purchased groceries for. So I can kind of pull from that list to decide when I'm going to eat on specific days. And then moving into the current week, I again have the same kind of format. So I think that this is what's going to work for me, but we will check back in with that when I check in my February video. So now let's move to the rest of the planner. So after the end of the last weekly in December, so you have this one that goes through the 31st and into the first week of January, you just have blank pages. So there's a blank one, and then it starts on page 1, and they're numbered all the way through, let's see, 66. I forgot I tore some pages out. 369. I was trying to figure out why the pages weren't chronological, but I did tear a couple pages out. So that gives you like 1 page per day and a couple extra if you wanted to use this daily. But this is the main reason I got this planner rather than the Hobonichi Cousin, again, for my practical journaling, because I don't want the pressure to do a daily list or a daily page every single day. So I started with an index, and then I have some long-term tracking. So again, I'm tracking some of those home tasks and things because I want that boost of checking them off. But I also like to see kind of the overview of when was the last time something was done over the course of the year. Here I have my routine cleaning. So these are things that I'm going to try to do a few times a month. And these are ones I'm going to try to do at the maximum. I will do them once per month, but these are going to be things that I do maybe like once or twice a year. And these aren't necessarily going to be things I do every month, but they are things that I could potentially do more than once in a month. So it's why it's a larger tracker. And then I track my bills and payday and some financial stuff that I'm not going to share. And then I have like passwords and accounts and that type of thing. And then I'm going to flip over. So then I redid my goals. So like I said, the goal page at the very beginning here didn't really work for me. This was more of like an intention page to kind of brainstorm my goals, but not set goals that I could really like check off. So here I decided to do that, and I broke it down into 5 categories rather than the 6 by combining the physical and mental health into health. I kept the adventure category. I changed lifestyle to ease, and then I kept home. And then I put crafts instead of Lindela's creating, because my goals for my crafts are in my craft planner, which I will have a video sharing that probably next week for you guys. So stay tuned if that's something you're interested in. But I decided to just kind of make a nod to it here because it is an important goal of mine, but it is not something that I'm going to be focusing on in this planner. Then I decided to do quarterly goals. Last year, I found that monthly goals was not useful for me. It was a waste of time to kind of write things out. A lot of things were just like migrated from the previous month or continue working on, because a lot of things take more than 1 month for me to accomplish because I have so much going on in my life and I'm trying to take things slow and kind of prioritize ease this year. So I decided to do quarterly goals instead. So I took the craft ones off because those are in my craft planner. I pulled some things from here that I want to include on my quarterly goals and that I want to do like this quarter, and other ones I'm just leaving them here because they're not going to be things that I prioritize this quarter. Then I'm moving into January, and I put the tab from the Coffee Monsterz Co here. I didn't do the rest of the year because I'm going to add those as I get to the page because I don't know how long it'll take me to get through a month. But you can see I didn't use that many pages for January, so I'm probably not going to finish this journal this year. I will probably have a ton of extra pages at the end, which is fine. Or who knows, maybe I will start using it way more in other months. So I made a dashboard page for January, and then I started with some weekly trackers and some daily to-do lists. But you can see here, I'm not doing this every day. I have Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday. So just the days that I actually needed it, which is not every day. So this worked so much better for me than the Hobonichi Cousin for functional planning, because the Cousin kind of forced me to create a to-do list every day when I don't need it. And I felt like I was wasting a lot of time making lists and it made me feel very overwhelmed. Like having a good list and to check things off is something I love, and like it's just so good, but I don't want to do it every day. Sometimes I just want to dive in and get things done. Other times I don't want to focus on all the things that need to get done because I need to focus on rest. And so part of ease for my one little word this year is not making a to-do list every day, and this planner is helping with that so much. I am adding some decoration in here just to make it a little pretty and fun to use. I'm also using it for other things besides my daily list. So I started mapping out my 2024 craft intentions in here, and this is what I used as the jumping off place to set my craft goals for the year, which will be in my craft planner setup video next, or flip through next week, I think. But I will have that one for you guys soon. I had another daily here. And then I am working on deep cleaning my kitchen, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to deep clean the cabinets all in one sitting. So what I did was I kind of did a loose sketch of my kitchen, and I am marking them off when I complete them, so I know which ones are already cleaned and which ones have not been cleaned and when. So I have done a couple of them, and that's it so far. But my goal is to finish this in this first quarter. Flipping over here, I did another week, and then here's another week. I'm still struggling to decide whether or not I want to do a theme like this for the entire spread or change the theme at the end of the week. I'm not sure I love how this looks, these two things together, but I don't know, maybe. I'm still trying to figure that one out. And then I had one more here where I did just a couple days and I had a gap, but that's fine because I needed to set up February. So I just went on to the next page. And February was in the middle of the week, so I'm continuing to use these trackers, but I am moving over into the new spread for daily to-do lists, so it is in the new month. So that is a look at where I am in my common planner so far. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and I hope to see you guys all in the next one. Bye.